6 months ago, the idea of standing in front of a group of people and giving a TED Talk absolutely terrified me. Not haunted house terrifying, not spider in the shower terrifying, but the kind of terrifying when your brain says, you don't have to do this, no one will know if you give up, just stop trying. I refused to give in to my fear, not because I enjoy the torture, but because I know I'd be disappointed in myself. I will feel regret. And regret, I've learned, is far worse than any amount of embarrassment. Embarrassment lasts maybe 5 minutes. Regret moves in, rearranges the furniture, and makes itself at home. I don't think anyone wants this. Instead, we all strive for inner peace. When we think of inner peace, we think of something in particular. Someone calm, someone balanced, someone who has their life together and isn't afraid of ordering at restaurants. What we don't think of is fear or awkwardness. But maybe that image is wrong, because inner peace isn't about avoiding discomfort, it's about not being at war with yourself. Boutros and Davis's article, published by the Berkeley Wellbeing Institute, explains how inner peace has been studied across religious, philosophical, and academic traditions for centuries. Definitions vary, but all agree on one thing. Inner peace is essential to a meaningful life. I would argue that to achieve inner peace, you have to have the courage to be brave. Nothing creates internal chaos faster than knowing you played it safe when you wanted to be braver. For a long time, I believed bravery would just arrive one day. That I'd wake up older, wiser, and magically more confident. It was like a birthday gift I just didn't know about yet. Spoiler alert, it never showed up. If anything, what I've learned is that courage doesn't come with age, it comes with action. And inner peace is what happens when you stop ghosting your own potential. There have been many times where I should have put myself out there, and before I had the chance, fear took over and controlled my mind. I have danced my entire life, and for the majority of my life, I've danced at the same studio with the same people from when I was little. The familiarity made me comfortable. This past summer, however, I had the opportunity to dance at a new school for a summer camp. At this camp, I'd be dancing variations and getting a new experience in a new environment. The only thing that stood in my way was the fear of meeting new people. On my first day of classes, I was welcomed with warm smiles, but even in this happy environment, my fear separated me from them. I barely spoke, other than to answer the questions. I was seen as quiet and shy, which if anyone knows me is not how I truly am. Having been introduced to them in this way, I continue to be seen as the quiet, shy girl. If I had gone in with an outgoing attitude, I would have been able to enjoy my time much more than worrying about what they thought of me. This is just one of the many times where I should have put myself out there and didn't. I didn't speak up, I didn't try, and I didn't apply. And every time my brain would support my inaction by saying things like, don't do it, you'll look stupid, or what if you fail? But I've learned to say to these thoughts, so what? I can't control the outcome, only that I try. And you know what? Confidence doesn't show up before you act, it shows up after you survive the thing you were afraid of. It's like bravery's little thank you note. As Dale Carnegie once said, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. And he forgot to mention, inaction also breeds overthinking in the middle of the night, replaying conversations from 5 years ago, and randomly remembering something embarrassing while brushing your teeth. The moments where we do act, where we try something new, awkward, or scary, we don't always succeed. We stumble, we fail, we sometimes look ridiculous. But we also walk away with pride, with confidence, with a sense of accomplishment. This is when fear loses its power. This is when regret takes a back seat. This is when inner peace finally shows up. There's a quote I love by Ralph Emerson. Do the thing you fear, and death of fear is certain. Which sounds dramatic, but it's true. Fear hates being challenged. Fear wants you to walk away. Fear wants you to stay home. Fear wants you to wait until someday. Dr. Gail Bretter, a clinical psychologist and author of Suffering is Optional, explained how inner peace is not possible until we face our fears. We live with fears of emptiness, failure, loss, weaknesses, which limit our ability to find true inner peace until we face these fears. Peace of mind is impossible when it's weighed down by what ifs. What if I had tried more? What if I had spoken up? What if I believed in myself just a little bit more? We tell ourselves we'll be braver later, when we're older, wiser, and magically stop caring about what people think. But courage isn't waiting for us in the future. It's built one uncomfortable decision at a time. And here's the surprising part. Every time you choose action over avoidance, your inner peace gets a little louder. The anxiety quiets down, the self-doubt loses its microphone. Not because everything worked out, but because you showed up. I challenge each of you. What is something you always wanted to do but were too afraid? What is something you still think about and wonder, what if? And ask yourself, what's the worst that could have happened? A little embarrassment? A temporary failure? A story you'll laugh about later? Because I promise you, regret hurts more than any of these things ever will. It's not too late to accept the challenge you've been avoiding. Step into the discomfort, do the thing that scares you. You might not find immediate success, but you might just find something even better. Inner peace. Thank you.